Many people are unable to distinguish between management and leadership. They cannot differentiate between a manager and a leader. So, in this video, we are going to discuss some of the key differences between the two. Leadership is an influence relationship between followers and leaders who intend real change to achieve a common objective or a shared vision, whereas management is the attainment of goals in an efficient and effective manner through the four functions of management. What are the four functions of management? Planning, organizing, leading, and controlling. So managers and leaders, they are not inherently different people. There are managers at all hierarchical levels who are also good leaders. So you can find a good leader at a lower level of management or middle level of management, and of course at the top as well. So people, they can also develop qualities that are needed for effective leadership and management. So both leadership and management are essential for any organization, and they must be integrated effectively. But always remember, you cannot replace management with leadership or leadership with management. The two have their own importance and functions, roles to play in an organization. So, we are going to discuss the differences between management and leadership with reference to five crucial areas in an organization. The first one is providing direction. Now, both leadership and management are concerned with providing direction, but there are differences. Management, it focuses on establishing detailed plans and schedules for achieving specific results. Then they allocate resources to accomplish the plan. Whereas leadership calls for creating a compelling vision which inspires and motivates its people. It sets the context as well, and it predicts the future challenges and opportunities. So the focus is on far-sighted strategies so that they can achieve that particular vision. Whereas management calls for keeping an eye on the bottom line, the short-term results. Leadership keeps an eye on the long-term future and horizon. So this is the first difference in the direction, in providing the direction to its employees. Second is the alignment of the followers. Management creates organizational structures, staffing plans, developing policies and procedures, keeping systems intact, monitoring and implementing those systems, whereas leadership is more concerned with communicating the vision, developing a shared culture, developing a set of core values through which followers and leaders can achieve a common objective. Leadership also provides opportunities of learning to its employees so that people can expand their minds and abilities so ultimately they take responsibility for their own actions. So if your instructor is giving you instructional directions, controlling your behavior through grades, then he's more of a manager. Whereas if the instructor is motivating you towards learning, so that ultimately you can gain more from the course, you can achieve your career goals, then he's more inclined towards being a leader. Again, both leadership and management is important. I'm not understating the role of a manager. Both have their own importance. Then the third element is building relationships. In terms of relationships, management, since it focuses more on getting the most results out of people, so that production goals are achieved and goods and services are produced efficiently and effectively. So management is more focused towards getting more out of people, whereas leadership, it focuses on investing more in people so that they are energized and inspired to accomplish the goals. So the relationship of a manager and a subordinate is based on position and formal authority, whereas a leadership relationship is based on personal influence and trust. So, for example, a manager can tell his subordinate on the basis of authority relationship that you need to come early in the morning at 7:30 a.m. And if you're not there, I can deduct your leave, salary, pay, whatever. And he's able to do so because he has the formal authority to do. However, a leader might work on motivating that person and giving his subordinate uh, the reason why is it necessary to come on time or to come early in the morning. So there's a difference in approach because the two are based on different relationships. One is based on formal authority, and the other, the leadership, it relies more on influence and trust. Take away a manager's formal position and see if people will choose to follow that particular manager. That is the mark of a leader. The fourth element is personal qualities. Leadership is more than just a skill set. The qualities required to be a leader requires more than just your managerial skills. Um, it relies on a number of subtle qualities, subtle personal qualities that are hard to see but are very powerful. These qualities include humility, integrity, courage, and empathy. But all good leaders, they have a genuine care for the work and also concern for the people. The process of management generally encourages emotional distance. So managers, they maintain a certain emotional distance with their subordinates. However, leadership requires developing emotional connections. So they develop emotional connections. Where there is leadership, people become part of a community and they feel that they are contributing something worthwhile. So can you develop these leadership qualities? Yes. Developing leadership qualities, it takes a lot of work. And for leadership to happen, leaders may have to undergo a journey of self discovery and personal understanding. The fifth element is creating outcomes. Managers and leaders, they create different outcomes. Managers are more focused on stability, predictability, maintaining order through a culture of efficiency, whereas leaders are more focused on creating change. That change can often be radical change, and they develop a culture of agility and integrity that helps an organization achieve its long-term vision. So all of these elements are interconnected, and these are the major differences between leadership and management. Let's look at these differences again. First is direction. Managers are more focused. I'm not saying that they do not care for the long term vision, but they are more focused on the short term vision, the short term goals of an organization, whereas leaders are more focused towards the long term goals. Again, leaders are also concerned about the short term goals, but their focus is largely on achieving the long term vision. So they give a long term direction to uh, their followers. Then alignment of followers. Managers align through organizational structures. The second function of management, organizing. They are more focused on organizing their work practices, work cultures through policies and procedures. Whereas leaders, they communicate a vision. They communicate the vision and shared values through which they can achieve their common goals. Then relationships. Managers, they focus more on achieving on getting most out of people, whereas leaders, they invest in people. Then comes personal qualities. Managerial skill set is different from leadership skills. Leadership, they have to do a lot more in terms of connecting with their followers. They need to develop those emotional connections, and that requires a different set of skills. And finally, creating outcomes. Whereas management is more focused on stability, maintaining order, making a culture of efficiency and effectiveness, whereas leaders are more concerned about agility in an organization, and in developing a culture that holds every individual responsible for their own roles and actions, which requires a certain degree of integrity. So these were the key differences between management and leadership. As I said earlier, managers and leaders are not inherently different types of people. These are different roles that an individual has to play in an organization to achieve efficiency and effectiveness.